rats. Like, that's okay. I don't gotta learn. I don't know if I could do that.
Once in a while, weeks or
Well, that's good because if it was all the time, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. What are the other two things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is good. Where'd you go?
That I went to Pinky's.
Okay, you Pinky's?
Yeah. I tell you, I was gonna get that vodka, and then I was gonna put you on, but then they didn't have it. So
that's wild, man. When did he do that?
Man, about a couple of months ago, they picked them up.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like an already established vodka company?
Yeah. If you go on their page, they got a bunch of people that sponsor them. Like J. Cole just sponsored them, and they got a bunch of artists that just sponsored them. But yeah, so they're doing pretty good.
It's wild to like just enter the space and then having immediate market share. Probably because of his fan base, you know?
You talking about DBaby?
Yeah. Is it like his management, you know, in the back being like, where else can we get more money? You know, like...
Yeah, no, it's really all him.
Let's do a vodka, you know?
Yeah, that was through him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, he's got...
You see a lot of celebrities do the vodka collab.
Yeah.
You know, The Rock has one. I mean,
Puff Daddy has one.
He has tequila? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Who else has one? Mark Wahlberg has one. Or is that vodka? Mark Wahlberg's the Fletcher?
I'm not sure. Fletcher, that's a tequila, yeah.
That's a tequila too, right?
I ain't know that it is.
Okay. Is this a tequila?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Clooney though.
Is what?
That's Clooney.
George Clooney? Look, there's another one. See?
I had no idea.
That's wild, man.
That's crazy.
Wild. Well, the same thing is kind of happening with like cannabis.
Yeah.
Where everybody's either teaming up with someone or having their own strain. A lot of them are, I don't know, I don't want to say that they're not doing it right. Like, have you ever looked into that?
Mm-mm.
So, Burner, the cookies guy, the owner of Cookies, he does like a 2-year process where I guess he figures out what's good for you, and they go through, you know, hundreds of strains, and then they crossbreed them, and then they come out in a sense with your own like very own strain like nobody else has. Like I don't know if that's what's happening with vodka, or is it all just white labeled? You know what white label is, right?
No.
White labeling? You don't know what white labeling is?
No, I have no idea.
I guess the best version is like, I make a vodka, right? I have a formula for vodka, and then I sell the rights to anybody. So you can slap whatever brand you want on there. So like a lot of the drinks or anything, almost, even if you go to the store and you buy cereal, it's just, it has a different brand name, but it's the same cereal. Like it's the same company providing the same cereal. Same company providing the same shirts. So it's called white labeling. So like a lot of it blew up lately just because of websites. Like people are white labeling websites. So you pay for the platform, you pay for the subscription, like to get the platform, and then you white label it. So the owner of the website, the software, whatever, is ABC company, and then they give you the rights to be able to put your name on it to say, no, this is my company. We offer website building. Da, 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 da. But it's really them the whole time.
Yeah.
You never seen that?
No, never.
Oh,
they just put me on. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh shit.
I've
No,
never
okay.
before.
Yeah, white labeling is a good way to do any product. Like if you get with somebody who may like have a legit, you know, product that's already selling, it's like, hey, let me put my brand on it. Like, you know, so like when I was doing lemonade in 2020, I started selling lemonade out of nowhere. We were doing like 1,000 bottles a month, and people were in a sense like asking us if they could white label it and just put another brand on it, and like how much I would charge and stuff like that. Anyway,
yeah,
that's when I started looking into it, because I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
White labeling?
Yeah, white labeling. Yeah, and so it's basically that, like you wholesale your main product to whoever, and then they just slap their brand on it. It happens a lot with shirts. Like you think I don't know, what's a shirt that everybody wears? Like any brand, like a black T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could be. It's the same manufacturers and wherever. ABC country, right? But they're selling it to this brand, because you know. I mean, I don't know how much you're like involved with or how much that is involved with what you do, but like, is there it's kind of like the street, man. Who's the plug, baby? Like, who's the direct source? Not, are you offering this? Are you the middleman to offer the service? You know?
Yeah, for like clothing brand.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Like, do you use softwares? Do you use your clothing that you wear? Anything.
Yeah, I've never looked in. I know I started my own clothing brand for a little bit, and then I kind of had to put it on hold. But I know in Houston, there's a lot of places that offer like material and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's right.
And that's one thing I love about Houston is there's a lot of clothing brands out there. Like,
So even like what's the famous one that's got a lot of graphics that a lot of people
man, there's a lot.
what the fuck
There's a
is it
lot.
called, man? What the fuck is it called?
From where?
From Houston.
From Houston? I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot. I can't really think of them all right now. But the first one that comes to mind is Roadrunner Simo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his collection is dope. He has a lot of graphics on his, but that's really like one of the. It's like a culture thing out there too. A lot of the clothing brands, they're all kind of have that going on, that theme.
Yeah. So that sweater that he buys, some other company probably buys too, and then they put something.
Yeah.
So in a sense, that's white labeling it. Like,
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was doing when I had my clothing brand.
okay, that was one of the questions I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I was going through an e-commerce website and a
Okay.
dropshipping website. Or the dropshipping, they had a bunch of different materials at different prices. They had like a bulk rate and like a standard rate, and I tried out a bunch of different materials to find the one that I like.
Yeah.
But I kind of know what you're talking about on that end.
Yeah. So it's like you can get to the point where you can maybe have like sell your own product,
Yeah.
and you may have a better brand than somebody. Anyway, that's a long answer for what white label is. all off of this, tequila, but you've also probably seen a whole lot more, man. The last time that I've talked to you, it's been like 2 years almost. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's been 4 years or almost 5 since the first time that I met you and talked to you in 2020. There's a lot that happened, man.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah. I mean, that was the JS period. There's probably that to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, after that with art, in a sense, split. I don't know what happened with everybody else, meaning I know that they were working with, anyway, blah, 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 other artists, other creators.
Yeah.
And then what went on with that? And then out of nowhere, it seemed like you started going to Houston a lot.
Yeah.
And then you started shooting visuals for some very, prominent names, man, which is just like, if it seems out of nowhere, right?
Yeah. No,
We don't know
it did happen pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie.
And we don't know the backstory, but hopefully we get the backstory here. But then there's all some other stuff too, right? Like you pissed a lot of people off at some point.
Yeah.
Whatever that was about,
Yeah, we get into all of it.
I don't know if people are still, how they still feel about it. I don't really pry. If somebody tells me something, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we can get into all of it. I'm not.
But a lot has happened for you, man. That's the point of me saying that was meeting you. Like, how old are you now?
26.
26. So when I met you, you were what, 21, 22?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot for
Yeah, I'm not that same person from 5 years ago.
Sure, man.
I'm not the same person from 2 years ago at all.
Well, 2 years ago, you were on probation on the ankle monitor.
Yeah, I was going
Because I don't know if that's still going.
Yeah, no, all that's done with. I'm off of everything.
Okay.
I'm clean slate. I'm good now.
Yeah.
My feet's planted.
Sweet.
Got my life back on track, and as you can see, like now everything's good now. Everything's smooth sailing, and I got to go through a bunch of shit this past 3-4 years, and like it was a blessing, because looking back now, I understand that it developed me into the person that I am now, and it built a lot of character traits that I needed to handle the life that I'm in now. Because it's like, if God would have blessed me with everything that I have now, then that person wouldn't have been able to handle it. So looking back now, I understand that I had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. I got to go through them. I got to go through a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, and to build the character that I needed to live the life that I'm living now.
What's like one particular life lesson that, since you said that person would not have been able to, I call it yielding, right? So what's one life lesson that you've learned on this side that person wouldn't have been able to?
That's a lot. I'd really have to break it down, but
Like, what's one of the biggest, quote unquote, I guess, failures over the last 4 to 5 years where you're like, fuck?
Damn, it's a lot.
Learning from it?
A lot.
Sure, man.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. It's a lot. I'd have to really
Real quick,
break it all down.
let's take a deep breath.
Yeah, I'm good.
First off, like with the lights and everything, right? Some people, I mean, well, you're used to it now, man. You're all over the place.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So we could probably ease into that too. Like, what's the difference when you get into that environment all the time and it just becomes a norm versus something that doesn't happen too often?
Well, like anything, it's real nerve-wracking at first, but once you get past that first one, it just gets easier and easier. Your nerves get used to it. Always on the first one on anything. Like working with your first major artist is going to be nerve-wracking at first. And then once you just get enough under your belt, it just becomes not really a norm, but you get used to it.
Gotcha.
So it's like at first you're thinking of what can go wrong. And then after you get something under your belt, you know how to handle. You're like, I've been here before, so I know how to handle this. I've been here before, I know how to handle this. And especially working with the same artists over and over again, you know how to work with them and how to handle this situation. And it just becomes easier as you go. And and eventually you get to a point where it's like, I do this. You don't got nothing to worry about.
Was it obvious when you went to start to shoot, like some of these artists that we're going to talk about, DeeBaby, BrickWolfPack, stuff like that, and the things you're talking about, how to show up? Was it obvious from the how to deal with them versus how to deal with somebody, quote unquote, locally or who's just coming up?
Obvious, no. Because it's going to Houston and because I don't even know where to start. I feel like I have to start from like the very beginning. So like the first major artist I was working with was Kap G and BrickWolfPack. Kap G is the one that brought me out there to Houston.
Okay.
So it started with Hobby the Prophet from here. He got a feature from Kap G and BrickWolfPack.
Okay, I remember that when they came down.
Yeah.
Okay,
But first, before they came down, about a month prior to that, we went to Houston to shoot the video with Kap G.
Oh, that's right.
And that's when I met Kap G.
Okay.
And so that was when I got like the first experience of like, holy shit. Because I listened to Kap G when I was in high school.
Oh, wow, man.
So I remember listening to all that. I remember he was huge back then too. So it was I was nervous and I was like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? This is my first time actually like being hands-on with a major artist. And we shot that video. And one thing that I've noticed that major artists get the feel for me is they see how professional I am when I work and they see how serious I take it. Okay. So they appreciate stuff like that. So I shoot that video.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I mean. Are they at the level that Kap G was he directing more or were you still directing?
On that one, it was me directing. It's not really Kap G's video. It was really Hobby's video. So when it's more of like, so Hobby was kind of direct, me and him are more hands-on.
Okay.
And then, when I work with Kap G on his videos, then he's more hands-on too. So we're both kind of directing.
Okay.
And then sometimes artists will give me like full creative control. But for the most part, if it's like their song, then they'll be a little more hands-on. But okay, so after we shot that video in Houston, I got that video done. And then a month later, Brick and Kap flew to Midland and we shot that video.
Okay.
And then so I showed them that video and they were blown away by it.
Yeah.
And then Brick, he seen the video and I remember showing them the video and then they look at each other like they was blown away, like they ain't never seen nothing like that before.
Oh, no way, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So like,
and then
look at an IRL reaction.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. Okay.
So they look back at each other and then they start asking me questions like, they're like, do you do your own color grading? And I'm like, yeah, I do everything. And then so they were blown away by that. Oh, and I guess at this time, Brick was needing a cameraman. So I remember him saying, we need you to come to Houston. And I said, well, whenever y'all need me, just let me know. And he was like, well, we need you every day.
Yo, wow, man. Oh, wow.
I was like, so just whenever you need me, just let me know. And then at this time, I was on house arrest at that time.
Yeah,
so
okay. Damn.
The first time I went to Houston with them, Kap brought me out there. And I shot Richer and Richer for Kap G, featuring BrickWolfPack. And then the next day, in the north side of Houston, we shot Side of My City by BrickWolfPack. I know you've seen that one. Yeah, so the next day we shot that one. And then so when I went, I was thinking this was like a one-time thing. They'll just hit me up whenever they need me again, right? I was thinking, because it was weird, like, I didn't realize how good I was. I didn't realize how valuable I was.
Wow, that's real shit.
Until, because it was weird. When I started going out there, they recognized my talent and they appreciated it. And they showed mad love. And so they just started feeding me with all this love and they just started putting me onto everything. And I didn't realize my worth until I started going out there. Here, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like here, I wasn't getting not the recognition, but I wasn't getting the flowers that I feel like I deserved. And then when I started going out there, I was like, damn, I didn't even realize I was good. I didn't even realize I was good until I went out there.
Yeah.
And then so they were like, Brick was like, you can move in with us.
Oh, wow.
And like, you can come stay with us. We need you every day.
Yeah.
So
it was like put you on the team type.
Yeah.
Oh,
so shit. They gave me like, I'm forever gonna be grateful for them. They gave me a place to stay and everything. Like Kap G, and then Kap G was going out there. He was out there like he's from Atlanta, so he was flying out there like all the time. And then so we just got to work. But I don't know. I'm forever gonna be. I tell Kap G all the time. Every time I see him, I tell him like, bro, I'm grateful for you because it's like if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be out here in Houston right now. And because he's the one that really like believed in me and put me on.
I pushed you.
Him and Brick. And so I'm always gonna be grateful for them for that.
Was it like, what do you mean, like just random compliments or like side conversations just pouring in, you know?
And then so the thing about like Brick, they have like a badass studio over there.
Okay.
At the crib, and a lot of motion goes to that studio. Like a lot of artists go to the studio. Like Bobby Shmurda went through the studio. Key Glock used to go through the studio all the time. All the PRE rappers would go through there. Kodak's been through there. Like so much motion goes through there. Even just like local people will go through there from Houston. And every time they would introduce me to somebody, they would just be like, bro, this is the hardest dude out, bro. Like I swear, I'll put him up. No way. Yeah. So they would just, I wasn't getting that love here at all. Yeah. And then let me just stop right there because I need to tell you something. Because honestly, bro, the reason why I'm here is because literally only you and Ferrari Kasino, the past 2 years, are the only two people that have shown me love. And like I feel like giving me the flowers that I deserve. You know what I mean? So I just want to tell you right now that I'm grateful for you, bro. Like that means a lot to me.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I just need to give you your flowers. Yeah, I just need to tell you I appreciate you. And then let me go back. Where was
I? Yeah, I'm grateful for you to have the interview, man. Because in any sense, no, well, not that I'm assuming, but at what you've done and what you're building, like you don't have to. Does that make sense? You know, so I appreciate it. Like in the sense where those guys saw, that's where I'm seeing the same thing. Like, and sometimes, hopefully you come full circle on what you're talking about. And sometimes it's like what they say that some people see it, people see it in you before you see it in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like, and which is crazy because it's very rare that you hear somebody in such a short amount of time reflect and then actually see it. It's usually 10, 15, 20 years later or something.
Yeah.
But the last time we talked about the Kabbalion and stuff like that, so you're a little bit more self-aware than most people.
I have to be aware. But that was the thing was, like, I feel like people here, they recognized it, but they just want to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. When I went out there, like, they recognized it and they let me know. They let me hear it. So I feel like that's what allowed me to just develop and just, like, kind of...
Well, and they gave you a platform. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Exactly.
Like, and already, not like a... Hey, here's what me and my friends are doing. Like, we're talking DeeBaby, BrickWolfPack, or whatever. Like, all of this Kap G, all these, that has led to where you are. Like, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
it's not a normal platform.
It was funny because Kap G, every time they would, or him and Brick, every time they would introduce me to somebody, they'd be like, yeah, we found this dude in the middle of nowhere.
That's great.
And it's like, man, it's really like, I'm not, Odessa is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
No, but see, that's like, I don't want to say proves, in a sense, like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But it sort of does prove, like, we talk about it, me and some other people, your work versus anybody from the West Coast to the East Coast, all these videos that we pay attention to drop, dude, nobody compares. Like, you're not just, in a sense, the hottest in the city or the hottest in Texas. Like, when you look at graphics, edits, it's like, fuck, like, your mind's cold, and this was 2 years ago. And now it's like, dude, nobody is dropping visuals, so it takes, somebody had to tell me once, like, You ever heard the selling the rock story?
Hmm.
Or this, the father tells the son to go sell the rock, and he goes to the corner, and he's like, "Father, they want to give me $2." And he's like, "All right, go to the other side of town." And he goes to the other side of town. They want to give me $20. He's like, "All right, go to the, take a bus and go to this town. And they want to give me $200. And then he's like, "Well, let me call this specialist or whatever. Let's see it." And the guy wants to give him like $2,000 or something, right? Same fucking rock.
Yeah.
But it's the environment, No, I'm happy for you, man, because imagine not happening.
Yeah.
It's an uphill battle out here, man.
And that's the thing.
It's a culture.
Because you can only grow as big as your environment will let you.
Yeah.
And Houston's the third biggest city in America. And then so
I can't, man.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, because here's what happened. Like this is why like I started really messing up, was because I was going back and forth between Houston and Odessa, right?
Okay.
And the thing about Houston is it's really, really fast. I mean, it's really fast, especially with the people I was with. They're like at the top of the game.
They
so it's
moving all
like,
the time.
so it's like it was really fast. So it was hard for me to manage that and everything back home. And on top of that, I was on house arrest for 10 months, and I was looking at doing like a year in jail. So I got to go through a lot of stuff. And so it was hard for me to manage all of that. And I was having health problems and everything. So that's where that was the
Like
hardest thing.
processing things. Like,
Yeah. And then time management, taking care of my health. Because before I started going out there, I had a real good structure out here where I was going to the gym, I was eating healthy. And, my time management was at least decent. And then going to Houston, and I was driving. I was driving back and forth every week. So it was like, it's an 8-hour drive twice a week. So that was taking a toll on my health too. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I just had to learn how to balance all of it. And maybe up until like 3 months ago, I've barely gotten on my feet, got my feet planted. And yeah, so now it's like, now my videos don't take more than a week to get back to the client.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, now that my feet are planted, my mind's good, everything's good. I don't got to worry about, I don't have anything weighing me down over my shoulders, just taking my concentration. Now I feel like people, I mean, you can see it now. Yeah. Everything's just, I'm like popping out videos every day at this point. Yeah. I'm in a flow state now. Yeah. To where before I didn't have that. And it was just, I don't know, it was just hard. It was so much coming in at once. And then with the Houston thing, it's a really fast lifestyle. I went from, working just locally here to all of a sudden I'm shooting for Mexican OT. I'm shooting for Sauce Walker. I'm shooting for Peso.
And that's a different type of emotion. Like, yeah, it's not normal conversations or normal movement.
Right.
So it's like keep up or get left behind. Like.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I had to figure it out. And I didn't, other than, the people I was staying with out there in Houston, I don't have no family out there. I don't have no friends out there.
So who did you go stay with exactly?
Like, with Wolfpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a what do you call it? A label type home where artists? Okay.
Yeah, there was a bunch of artists there. There was so many.
So it's not like a 700 square foot house.
No, it's a big old. It's a big old compound. Like, it's a big compound, and it's a bunch of amazing people there. Like, we had our producers there. We have, our managers there, and at one point, even DeeBaby was living with us too. So that's and we have our studio there. We had a podcast going for a little bit too.
Oh wow, man!
Yeah, so it was a lot. That's what I'm saying. It was a lot of emotion going through there, and it was just I don't know. It was just dope to be a part of.
How long did you stay there? Like,
man, about
whole time,
about a year and a half.
Oh shit!
But it was
a long time.
Yeah. So it was like it was kind of full time, but I was on like the first year I was on house arrest most of the time.
Yeah.
So it was like, and then they would only let me go out there for like 1 to 2 weeks a month. So it was like that was holding me back a lot. It was just a lot of stuff that that
so you didn't
made things difficult.
Okay, so you didn't get like your paperwork transferred, nothing like that.
I couldn't. I tried, but man, Ector County, bro.
No, I get it, man.
Yeah.
So then you had to navigate that.
It was a lot. I'm telling you, bro.
Well, let me ask you this. When you're telling your probation officer,
I'm telling my probation officer and my house. I was on house arrest and probation at the same time. And on top of that, I gotta like talk to my lawyer and everything. Oh my God.
Yeah, but when you're telling them, I'm going to these rappers, you know, I'm shooting their videos. Like, is there added questions that they're asking?
They don't care as long as they get paid.
Okay.
As long as they get paid and I pass everything, I do everything I'm supposed to do. They don't care. As long as they get their money, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When did that end for you? Like, when were you off of?
Man. The week of when DBaby came to Odessa to perform at La Hacienda, I remember it was a week of.
Okay.
I think that was sometime in June last year, I think. And then I signed and I got time served and they dismissed my case because I was on house arrest. They were going to give me a year.
Give me all your money. Now it's dismissed.
Yeah. They were going to give me a year in jail, but I already had like 40 days served in jail, and then I had 10 months on house arrest, and it kept getting, what's the word? It kept getting
postponed.
Yeah, like
rescheduled.
Yeah, so like the day of court, they'd be like, "Oh, we just rescheduled for another month and a half. Oh, we just rescheduled for another 2 months." And so at first I was like, "Okay, just give me the year, or whatever." And then it kept getting rescheduled, and then so I eventually told my lawyer. My lawyer wasn't trying to help me, bro. My lawyer was an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. And I eventually told him, like, bro, I just did 10 months on house arrest, 40 days in jail, and I'm like, it don't make no sense for me to still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't 365 days. That was a whole nother situation. It was 100 days they were trying to get me in jail. So I told him, I'm like, I just did 40 days in jail already, 10 months of house arrest. I'm like, it don't make sense for me to still do, you know, that's a sentence in its own. 10 months of house arrest, that's a sentence in its own. And I told him, I'm like, bro, you're going to have to get my stuff dismissed. I'm not signing for no 100 days. And then when he seen like I wasn't finna just roll over and let them do whatever they wanted, then he was like, all right, well, I'll see what I can do.
And he got dismissed at the end? Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that was the week. That was the week when DBaby came to
hell yeah,
to Odessa. And I remember when they pulled up, I'm the one that picked them up from the airport, and I was excited. I showed them, look at my angle. I'm like, I don't got no angle based on that.
They was probably happy too, man.
Yeah, no.
Well, I seen you go to, what was it, L.A.? What was it, with Murder and them?
Yep, that was with DBaby and them.
Okay.
That was a trip.
Dude, you got a lot going on.
That was a
like,
trip.
I had to take a deep breath. First off, real quick, you got a whole bunch more tattoos than 4 years ago for sure, but goddamn, from 2 years ago,
look,
those look fresh.
This is fresh. I got this, I ain't gonna lie. I got this in 2 days.
Holy shit.
I got this done. I got her next week. I'm getting this done and my hand done, but yeah. I got the 432.
Dude, holy shit.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This one hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you. These hurt. I ain't gonna lie. This is bad. This was bad, especially like these.
Man, that's a lot of shading, bro. The shading probably looks like it hurts, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You just kind of, yeah. Who's the tattoo artist, or what? Are you going to one artist, or are you going to one artist?
This is one artist. His name is Beth. He ain't got no social media, so I ain't gonna lie. If you want to get to him, you got to go through me, because he's real. He real low key, so he don't got no social media.
Man. He's killing it.
Yeah,
he's good, man.
He's super dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Where's he at? In Houston, Odessa?
Everywhere.
Oh, okay, bet, man.
Yeah, he'll go wherever.
I got you. So how did you feel like finally, in a sense, leaving Odessa? Everybody talks about it.
Yeah.
Leaving and actually doing, it's one thing to leave, but to leave and actually do something is something different.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel in a sense that you left and you made something happen? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. When I'm out there, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I feel real happy. I feel real at peace. It's something about Houston. I don't know, but it's just my spirit is just drawing me to that place. That's where I'm supposed to be. And when I'm driving, there's so much motion going on, and it gives me life. When I drive to downtown, I see the skyline. I always tell them. I remember I was driving downtown with DeeBaby. He was on his way to his old crib, and it was at night, and I seen the skyline. I'm like, bro, this was like 2 weeks before he came to Odessa, Midland, and then it was going driving by downtown, and I said, bro, you see this right here? I'm like, this shit like the sky, like the whole skyline of like all the buildings downtown. I was like, bro, this right here gives me so much motivation and inspiration. You have no idea. I'm like, if you seen my downtown, bro, you would understand. Like, I'm like,
It's cute. All the downtown, right?
I know this downtown is cool, but I'm talking about Odessa downtown.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, we got
That's
these
true. Yeah, that's true.
weird ass buildings, bro. I'm like, if you were to see like where I come
The
from,
Bank of America building and put it
and I'm like, bro, if you were to see where I come from, bro, you would understand. And he was like, bro, he's like, this ain't shit, bro. Like, I gotta tell you this and that. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whenever you come to Odessa, you're gonna see what I'm saying. So
Well, man.
fast forward, he comes to Odessa. We downtown Odessa. Okay, from the airport, we're going to Odessa, and then so we're getting there. And I'm like, hey, fool, you see these two buildings right here? I'm like, that's our downtown. and then all of them, it was Junie, it was Yasso, Jay, and Brick. And they were like, stop bullshitting. That's not y'all's downtown. I'm like, bro, I swear this is.
They were looking for it.
I'm like, they are downtown. They had two buildings right there.
Oh, that's
downtown.
funny.
And then so they thought I was just playing. And my uncle was driving us. I was like, oh, I'm like, tell him that's our downtown, right? He's like, yeah, that's our downtown. And they were like, oh shit, I see what you mean. You wasn't lying.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so we downtown, we getting the rental cars from 10 Cuevas, and then I'm just giving him the whole backstory, and they couldn't believe it. They kind of got a glimpse of. Because I
put you would be appreciative.
Yeah, because like I put myself in their perspective, and it's like they grew up to this, so it's nothing to them, and it's like from my perspective, this is all I've known.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this is like damn near brand new. You know what I mean? Okay. And I it's like from my perspective, I'm just a small town kid. You know what I mean? And this is what I had to grow up with. So it's like for me to be out there in Houston and see all that on a daily basis, see all like everything that goes on over there, that shit means the world to me.
Well, and I'm gonna interject, and you're seeing it from not a normal person's perspective, meaning you're seeing it. I don't know if you're in the passenger side or the back seat of DBaby's. You know, like that's a prominent artist. It's not just
it's me and him. No,
you know what I'm saying. So
that's the thing is like I don't think people understood at that time. Me and DBaby were like family. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's tatted on my neck. I'm APE. APE is already Platinum Entertainment. That's his label. Like we stood in the same.
Well, let me ask you quickly with that is, once you met him, right? Because and I think people cross the lines where it's like, I'm not putting somebody on a pedestal, but I am admiring them. Like, what the hell's wrong with admiring somebody and telling them, like these guys told you, like, dude, you're one of the coldest. Like, oh shit, you know. But then also treating you as a peer,
yeah,
versus anything else. Like, did you start to see them in a different perspective versus like once you started hanging out with them and get comfortable with them, or?
Well, I think
was it immediate?
It took time for me and D to kind of link up or to kind of like get close like that. Because the first time I met D, he was the first guest. He was the first episode of our podcast. He was the first guest.
Okay.
So that's when I first met him.
What was the podcast?
Man, some bullshit podcast. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
They were trash. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's it called? What is the podcast called? It's called Cut from a Different Cloth. Okay. But they're a bunch of bullshit people. But that's when I met D. And then like a couple months later, I shot a video for him called Whole Lot of Vets. And then
that shit was hard.
Yeah, and then so we just been around like just
real quick. Okay, real quick. As we're on that, I'm gonna do a lot of this. Yeah, there's a lot going through my head. I'm a little ADD.
Oh, you good? Me too.
On this Corvette deal, when it dropped, so I'm on Instagram a lot. If you've been following, and you know that in my stories, I try to always put a music because I'm highlighting music artists. So I'm either gonna put somebody locally or somebody that I'm really fucking with, right? And when you guys were working on that project, I was trying to promote it. I was pushing either the post or posting a picture or something else, and I would use the Corvettes song. I had to type the entire thing out completely on Instagram. I'm saying that because I'm about to ask a question. I had to type it out completely, and then it was the only DBaby track that was misspelled.
Yeah,
it had 3 Y's instead of 2. So the question I'm getting to is like, you know what's crazy is like, yes, social media platforms are where we could go on as individuals, but is it still like a radio station? I don't know if you've heard conversations because hanging out with these guys, but is it still like a radio station, meaning the people at the top still control it? So are they blocking, up in that song? I feel like could have had more, should have had more. And I don't know if it was just me, but I couldn't find it for like 2 weeks. I kept typing it in, and it would never come up on like my Instagram posts.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. But anyway,
but with the DBaby with the 2Y, I know what you're talking about. Because one thing that so I didn't know this, but like if somebody drops like a song on YouTube, anybody with like what's the streaming platform people can just upload music? I'm trying to think of one, just anyone.
Spotify.
No.
Ector.
Not like that. Like when you're uploading a song and you got to upload like the song, artist name. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a DSP.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
one
one thing I learned is that anybody can do that. If DBaby don't like a distro kit that uploads it to all platforms. Like, so if DBaby doesn't upload it through his whatever he uses, anybody can just grab that song.
What the fuck?
Yeah, anybody can just grab that song from YouTube and upload it. So that's what happened with that situation.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've seen with them. There's been times where they upload a song to YouTube, and like anybody can just go and grab it.
Shit.
And like they could just like DistroKid, DBaby's name is already taken. So let me do DBaby with 2 Ys.
Oh,
3 Ys.
Shit.
So they can just go and you know what I mean. So
that's wild, man.
So that's what happened with that situation.
Oh, that explains that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good gem to know. Like, damn, anybody can.
Yeah, until the label like files something to be like, this is our song, then
it's fucking the burden of proof is on them versus
exactly.
That's fucking hilarious. Damn, that's wild, man. Does that happen a lot? Like, how do you know about that?
I mean, because it happened to our song.
What happened to you? So were you guys like you found out and you looked into it, or like you were doing the same thing? You're wondering like, how did this get uploaded, or like what happened?
I remember it was a conversation with the DJ Junie, and he was talking about somebody already uploaded this, and so
okay,
yeah, but it can be easily fixed. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, it's not that okay. Yeah, I always wondered because it's happened a few times, especially with local guys when I'm pushing them a lot. Instagram will stop blocking them. Like if I put an artist's name in, usually it'll come up because it's got a history. And then after a while, I'll have to like type in the whole entire track name and the artist name for it to even come up.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, you don't have to answer it right now or talk about or discuss it, but I'm wondering if they're being blocked.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know if that goes on. I'm a little paranoid. It could be the weed.
I don't ever go in. Okay, so you're talking about like local artists?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, I know there's a system.
Small artists.
Yeah, there's a system with to uploading stuff, and then I know whenever you start getting into like label deals, it gets real complicated. Yeah. And I always see I don't ever get I'm the type of person, I don't ever get in nobody's business. Like if you got this going on with this person, you got this going on with that person, that's your business, ain't my business. I don't got nothing to do with it. So I don't know the specifics to it. But and then even with me like working with labels now, I see like, bro, to shoot a music video, the contract that these labels send me like a 44-page contract.
Man.
So it's like,
we haven't even gotten into that.
So
over 40 pages
44
to shoot a
pages
visual?
to be exact.
That's
for
wild.
3 visuals. So it's like, okay, I can see where shit can get, you know what I mean, complicated.
What's the main things that they're after that I don't know. Is it ownership, distribution, right?
No, just for me to shoot the video, it's like, here's these papers. Make sure if you have like talent, like you hire a model, get this paper or get this document signed by the model. If you have, you're shooting at this location, get this signed by the owner of the location, the name of the location, the date, and then, like, we're signing for 3 music videos. We want them done before this date, and any date after that, you got to give a percentage back of the money or percentage of the money back. And oh my God, it's a lot.
So is it like,
it's a lot of the legal stuff to keep them safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
because they probably experience stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah, because it's like
this is like having the owners of the location sign over. What is that for? Liability? Is that for like okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You know what I mean?
But it's just everything to keep the label safe, because the label is a business, and one thing I learned about business is everybody's always gonna make sure they're good first.
Yeah,
always. And so that's one thing I had to learn was when it comes to business, keep business. You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna make you feel like your family. People are gonna make you feel like, I'm there, like I'm there for you, whatever, this and that. But they're always gonna make sure they're good first.
For sure.
And it's like you're just a tool to them. You know what I mean? So one thing I've learned that I've had to learn throughout these past 4 years in this industry specifically is keep business because people don't really give a fuck about you the way you think. Because my thing was I always treated people like a family. Like I was always there. Because I'm a genuine person, and that's why I'm at where I'm at. That's why like people like DbaBy fuck with me. It's because I'm a genuine person.
You're not trying to get one over on
Yeah,
somebody.
and I always show up for people, and they see that. But I learned the hard way. I used to be a people pleaser, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be a nice guy, but fuck all that. All that nice guy shit is dead. I ain't gonna, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Real quick, I told her that when I met you, you're like a young lion. You're a Leo, right? And I was like, you're
that though. So
I know, but you're like a young lion. Like,
yeah,
you're just getting into age, right? And then now you've been pushed around a little bit, and you're like, hold the fuck up, hold up. Like, I'm a lion. I ain't gonna pissed off.
Just stop. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The Lord is changing now a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah. All that nice guy shit is dead. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I have like my own personal philosophy of I do business first and then we can do the friendly shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't be friendly first and then do business because it always ends up fucked up, you know. But what I also learned is if you do good business, you're gonna be a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, but clear first. Yeah.
You're clear. You communicate. You don't take things personal. You want to move things forward. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Right. Which is what I want to ask next is the business that's done inside of the 432 versus the way it's done in Houston. Besides actual contracts and agreements, how many contracts and agreements do people out here send you?
I mean, other than the weddings and all that. That's it. But when it comes to the music industry, none.
And versus out there, they're sending you 44 pages.
Yeah, because a lot of these artists are signed to labels, and some of the labels pay for their stuff.
Well, I get it, but and you probably know this. Like, it's also with like little things of just basic law. Like, whoever hits record owns the content. So it's like, hey, make sure I own the content, not you own it. Like, even stuff like that, which I feel should be normal.
Yeah.
People aren't really, like, distinguishing or stuff like that out here. It's just like, hey, shoot, which is okay. It's like, what do they call it? Like, good old boy type business, like a handshake type shit, you know, like.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying, is you have good character and good integrity. In a sense, me and one of my mentors talk about it all the time. If you have good character and you absolutely believe in integrity, you don't need an agreement. Tell me what you need, and I got you. And I'm going to fix it if it's not right or whatever. Like, but most people, because of the way the world is, it's like, sign here. Like, let me cover myself, you know.
Well, another thing is, like, that's just business, too. You know what I mean? Like, for the labels and all that. But then here, yeah, like, it's cool to just, you know, a handshake and everything. But when it gets to, like, a certain level, you have to have that fine print.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Especially with the labels.
What's the biggest thing you've learned about agreements, you know?
I mean, just integrity, just be a man of your word, do what you say you're going to do. And
like, is there anything ever in there that's asking more of what you're already presenting, and you're just like, I can't believe that they're wanting this? Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's just
when you read it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
No, it's just like deadlines, and it's
okay.
It's like, you know, like here, it's like we both expect something from each other, but you know, and it's not always voiced. But with these contracts, it's like it's voiced, so it's
very
specific.
Clear. Yeah.
And that's one thing about business I've learned, like having good business is if I say I'm going to have this video back to you within a week, I'm going to have it back to you, you know, and then I don't need the contracts for that, but the contracts just, they have all the stipulations to everything and all the details to everything. So we both know what to expect from each other. And it's like, I feel like it works out better with contracts because I think having a deadline and everything, there's just something about being more professional with things that just makes things just run smoother.
Well, on that note, then let me ask you, like, do you think that was part of the misunderstanding of like what happened out here with? Apparently, all I know is some people were paid. They were visual.
They're taken care of now.
Yeah, okay, and then they didn't get their visual. That's all I know.
Yeah,
and then somebody went online to kind of, you know.
So let's talk about that. Okay, so with SmokesWorld. I love SmokesWorld. I love him. He's funny. I love him.
Got it.
Okay, so what happened with him was he hit up my phone one day, and I told him, he hit me for update, and I told him, I said, okay, I got everything pieced together. I just got to add the effects or whatever. And he said, okay, cool. And then the next day, he calls my phone at 2 a.m. and it wakes me up, and I'm not gonna lie, it pisses me off. And okay, so
2 a.m?
Yeah, so check this out. So obviously now that type of situation wouldn't happen now, because I'm on top of everything. Like I said, I got my life back on track.
Was he calling you because there was a delay?
It wasn't even a delay.
Quote, unquote.
It wasn't even a delay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so he hits me up, and the next day I tell him, like, bro, you got to chill out. And then he says, what do you mean you got to chill out? He said, you're so rude. I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. And then he said, customers deserve an update and communication. And I said, I understand that, bro, but what kind of customer hits you up at 2 a.m?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I understand it's crazy business hours or whatever, but the customer's always right. And then he just starts freestyling and trying to tell me how to run my business. And then he says, I've ran multiple businesses before. And he's like, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm 36 and I know what I'm talking about. And then so this is just my mindset. I'm not saying this is right, but this is just my mindset at the time.
So you're not demonizing anybody right now.
Yeah. So this is just my mindset at the time. And it sounds disrespectful, but it's like, in my mindset at the time, I'm like, you're telling me how to be like you. I don't want to be nothing like you, bro, at all. Yeah. And you're telling me about all these businesses you run. I don't see one successful business. And then so I tell him, I appreciate the advice, bro, but I'm doing good. My business is doing good. I've already made it out of Odessa, Midland. And when I said that, I wasn't downing people from Odessa, Midland. And he spun it and took it as I was shitting on people from Odessa, Midland.
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't post that till later. But then after that, after I sent that message, he went off. He's like, what have Odessa, Midland people do to you? You're so disrespectful. He was like, unbelievable. He's like, people like you don't make it far. And then so when he said that pissed me off. And then he gets on Facebook and posts a whole like rant about, he was like, these young stubborn kids nowadays don't know how to listen to the elders. He's like, I'm 36 and I used to always listen to my elders when I was younger. And I'm like, that pissed me off too, because now you're going to get on Facebook and start talking shit about me. So it's like, I'm almost done with his stuff. And then so when that happened, I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, that's disrespectful. Now you're on my time. Now I don't give a fuck about giving your shit back. Now you won't have to wait to whatever. But this, like I said, it's not right. But
I know what you're saying.
But it's like, once you get disrespectful, you can't expect somebody to just be like, I felt like he was trying to like little bro me, or like he was trying to get me to bow down to him just because he's 36.
That's a very good point.
And I'm like, even to this day, like I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me like I'm.
Well, first off, I don't know. I didn't know that much.
He didn't post all that.
I briefly
okay.
tap in. I don't really.
I mean, cut you off.
No,
he didn't post all that. And I'm the type of person, I don't like addressing stuff, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I didn't know he did a drawn out post. Like, I didn't know any of that. All I know is what somebody else heard. Like, I try to stay out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad.
But I don't think everybody knew about this 2 o'clock in the morning. No, I would say
he didn't post that screenshot.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you're giving me a chance to address all this, because I was mad, dog. I was mad, and then Moneyland Media posted, and then, bro, there's just so much shit.
Which now is under new ownership.
Is it really?
It really is.
Okay, I heard about that. I saw that on your podcast. Yeah. I'm glad, girl, because I ain't gonna lie.
And he wanted to be here tonight, but he really didn't know. I don't know either, because I'm having it because of this current deal that I'm doing. I don't know if videographers are okay crossing paths, and I don't know.
I love meeting other videographers. Bro, that's another thing. When I started going out there in Houston, it was one of the major things I learned that people from here could take a lesson from, is that people out there are real humble, and they have a get money type mindset.
Okay.
And they understand they got to work together to like make it far. And it's like, there's a quote that says, people at the top are collaborating and people at the bottom are competing with each other. Yeah. And that's exactly how it is, bro. Here, everybody's a fucking shark. Everybody's like, no, fuck this guy. It's competition. Like, there's plenty, bro. There's plenty to go around, bro. Yeah. Like, this is an abundant world. Like, I don't need to be in competition with you. Me and you could work together, break bread together. Like, we could learn stuff from each other. That's the mindset I've always had. So anytime, like, if a videographer reaches out to me, asks me for questions, I love giving people advice. I love helping people. Because when I was coming up, I reached out to everybody at the top and was like, hey, what advice you have for this? What can I do for this? And so I've always had that mindset. Like, if I see somebody doing better than me, it always inspires me. It always makes me happy. I love to see videographers, cameramen, like, do good. I love to see them create dope stuff. So I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like, oh, you're a cameraman too. Like, nah, like I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't feel threatened by nobody. Cause I'm not in the sense of like I'm good at where I'm at. I'm in the sense of like it's just genuine.
Well, and you probably understand now, further into the game, that the only competition is with yourself. Like, there's nobody outside of
that was yeah. But back to what I was saying, I opened up a whole other tab. What's it called? The people at the top, bro, they're all collaborating. They're all working together. So it's like I work with a lot of videographers in Houston, like all around, and it's like we message each other, and it's all love. So it's like, but that's the thing, like the videographer, I don't know who it is, but it's like he feels that type of way because that's the energy here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like that's not the energy at the top.
Well, and there's a small group of us that isn't like that.
Yeah.
And we don't know if you're like that. So we're like, do we give them a little bit or not? Like, we don't, it's like and you know this now, again, more than anybody, you've gone out, I'm going to say for your age group, whether it's 30 under, 25 and under, 28, whatever. You've gone out and see the difference of what it, in a quote unquote, what it needs to look like. Because what do you hear around here is everybody says, it should look like it. And it's like, but do you really want to put your ego down? Do you really want to put your pride to the side? And most people don't.
Yeah.
It's
that was one thing that tripped me out, bro. It was like, that's the thing about all these major artists. Like, DBaby is one of the most humble dudes you'll ever meet. He's one of the most genuine people you'll ever meet. Even like Brick, Kap G, they're super humble. So it was kind of like a culture shock to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it was crazy going from them, because I remember artists here, I would send them the video and they wouldn't say shit to me. They wouldn't be like, I would just send them the video, they would post it, they wouldn't say nothing to me, like, thank you, I appreciate it, shit was hard. And then when I started working with them, DBaby would call me, be like, bro, you killed that shit, bro. That shit was so hard.
You see,
and
man.
like that's like, so it's like that's the love I was getting out, I've been getting out there. And I come here and it's like people want to treat me like I'm not me. I didn't even know who I was when I was here. I didn't realize I was good. I didn't realize I was like, I had something while I was here. And then when I go out there, I'm like flourishing out there. I'm prospering out there, because it's like these people, they're not afraid. They don't have big egos. So they're not afraid to give you your flowers. Yeah. They're not afraid to tell you.
Or to pour into you.
Yeah.
Not
so
taking
it's
away
like,
from them.
because of all that, I grew so much out there. I'm still growing. Like,
badass, man.
And it's like, yeah, so why would I want to come back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the thing that tripped me out. Like, everybody over there is super humble, genuine. They're like, whatever you need.
Well, for anybody, but for these particular, I'm gonna say, like, type of artists that have the platform that they have to say and to introduce you, bro, we found, in a sense, as an anomaly. Like, dude, what else, in a sense, more validation do you need about your work or your creativity?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. Like, it's very hard to get that out here. And it's just small. It's what all it is really is just a numbers game. We only have, maybe 250,000 people out here in the Permian or type stuff. If there was, I don't know how many, Houston's what?
It's like 7-8 million.
7-8 million? Fuck. That's crazy, man.
It's the third biggest city in America. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can only grow as big as your environment.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I'm not gonna lie, fool. After that shit happened with Smokes and Moneyland Media, I fucking hated the 432.
Yeah.
I hate, because here's the thing, like, because I heard some of the shit he was saying, and he said, he was like, you want to I never shitted on Odessa million people. I said, I've already made it out. Everybody's goal here in the music industry, at least, is to make it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And
to be networked with your network.
And then so he was like, you want to shit on Odessa million people? He's like, motherfucker, we made you. And I'm like, bro, you've had nothing to do. That pissed me off, right? So there's a few things I want to address. That, no, you did not, bro. God made me. You had nothing to do with where I'm at today.
Oh, that's why.
And then he said, another thing he said was, my camera was given to me. I'm going to say this right now. Anybody can, whatever they got to do to fact check me, whatever. I've paid for every single piece of equipment that I have. Both cameras I got, all my lenses, that's come from out of my pocket. I've paid for everything that I have. So that was a lie. And I do not respect lying ass people like that.
For sure.
So there was a whole bunch of other shit he said, but so then Moneyland Media posted that. And I didn't know who was running Moneyland Media at the time. And then later I was shooting a video for Chach and Kasino. And then Chach was the one that told me who was running it. And I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, bro, I was always showing this dude love. I was always commenting on his stuff. I was always shooting him a message, showing him love. And I'm like, why the fuck would he do that? And then, so here's another thing that pissed me off with all that. It's like with SmokesWorld, he's had plenty of opportunity to like show me love or like, because I've done so much here, bro, so much.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And he's had plenty of opportunity to be like Mikey Mike's killing it, like the same way he is with all these other artists. He's had plenty of time to show me love or do whatever. And then boom, the first time he talks about me is just trashing me, trying to assassinate my character, assassinate my name, and he's not giving y'all the full story.
Exactly.
And then with Moneyland Media, it was like leading up to that, I was locking in with everybody. Like, I was locking in with Brick, Kap G, Key Glock, Mexican OT, like everybody. And not once did they make a post about it. And the videos that I'm doing here, not once did he like tag me or be like visual by Mikey Mike. And so I'm like, I'm starting to notice that. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then like all these other artists here, they gotta pay to work with these artists. I'm getting paid to work with these artists. Yeah, right. I'm actually locked in with these artists.
Opposite.
Yeah, world of a difference. And I'm like, how come they're not, you know what I mean? How come I'm not getting the flowers I deserve? How come it's like, they're not saying Mikey Mike just locked in with.
Wild.
Yeah, so that was that. And then he posted that. And I'm like, man, bro. And then after that, it was just like a cool thing to just be like, fuck Mikey Mike. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck all y'all then. I'm like, I'm done with this place. I fucking hate this place.
That's why you said that shit about that video.
What video?
The video I said, you was like,
oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah. But I'm glad I'm getting a chance to talk about all this and bro. And that's the thing, bro. There's one more thing. I don't mean to cut you off. There's one more thing I want to address too. Like, I want people to really, because I don't never like. I'm not the type to get on social media and address stuff, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of person. So I'm glad you're giving me a platform to say all this. And then so that's just the energy I've always gotten from this place. And then like 3 years ago when I got my DWI, they posted my mugshot in the news, bro, and on Facebook, and everybody, it went viral on Facebook.
No way, dude.
And it fucked me up, bro, because everybody that was sharing it was people that I came up with, like people from high school, people from junior high, like elementary.
What, DWI?
Yeah, right? Okay, so check this out. And then they were like laughing at me, talking shit about me, and I'm like,
come on,
and I'm like, damn, I'm like, I'm looking at all these people, and I'm like, none of these people have ever shown me no love. They've never liked none of my stuff, commented on my stuff, shared none of my stuff, or nothing like that. Never like gave me my flowers, nothing. But it's like the moment I fuck up, everybody's quick to just be like, you know what I mean? Like with Smokes, with Moneyland Media, and then with, you know, that shit on Facebook. And then so that's what I'm saying. Like whenever that happened, bro, I was like, man, fuck Odessa, fuck Midland. I hate all of y'all. Yeah. And I was really, I'm over it now. Obviously, I love y'all folks, but at the time, I was super bitter, bro. I was super bitter. I hated everybody. I don't followed everybody from Odessa Midland. I was so bitter, bro, that I didn't want to see shit to do with Odessa Midland. Like, if you live in Odessa Midland, unfollow. If you posted something with Odessa Midland, I don't want to see nothing to do. I hated this place so bad, bro.
Man, damn.
I just had to get it off my chest, but I'm cool now. I forgive y'all.
That's why you unfollowed me.
Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie, because you're sharing all these people I can't stand, and I'm like, man, I can't like, I'm like, man, I don't want to see shit.
Like, what you do about your money?
You ain't do nothing.
What was it? It's fuck me. What's the fuck?
No, but it wasn't nothing personal with you. It was just, that's all that I'm getting a chance to tell you this now. Cause
hey, well, nigga, you can piss some people off. First off, that shit was, we was conversing when I was going to Austin. We're talking about you. I got you saved as Big Head Mikey. Nigga, you're funny as fuck. You're like, I'll fuck with those niggas. Here's how much time I need. No gas. Fuck everybody. Like,
I don't even know.
I got you, bro.
I don't even know. I don't fuck with nobody here.
Well,
I gave everybody. I'm gonna say this. I gave everybody a chance.
You sure? Yeah, and you did, man.
I did. I gave everybody a chance.
They handled themselves like what you're describing. I didn't know that whole full story.
Yeah,
I don't really pay attention like that. Moneyland Media does the same thing. It doesn't a new ownership. We probably talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. So I actually wanted to meet bro because I wanted to talk to him. Be like, if it's under new management, because I've seen a shift in energy from the page.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where it's like he's actually showing love and he's actually like tagging me and stuff. And I just wanted to have that conversation with him so I can make sure.
What?
Because like with you, I fuck with you because you show love. You're not a messy ass dude like all these other.
Yeah.
That's why I fuck with you and that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? So like that's why I wanted to have the conversation with Moneyland Media. Like if he's really under new management. And fuck the other dude, like then we're good, and I'll be happy to work with you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm trying to work with those people. All them other people, they can kiss my nuts. I don't give a fuck about none of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you've already.
Yeah, well, it's the whole. They made their bed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that energy of, I don't even know the label to call it, where it's like it's like you're kicking somebody while they're down. Not that you were down or anything like that. But
well down, and they all kicked me while down.
You know what I'm saying, Smokeworld did that to me. Moneyland Media did the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying, like in a sense, like not in a sense. They actually, so it's like, I don't know why that exists.
People they're just on.
They're just miserable.
They're on that side of hate, bro. Yeah. And a lot of people think by bringing your name down, it brings them up. And it's not how it works, bro.
Well, that's the thing I was going to bring up, because as you were sharing is, we're not only in the age of information, but we're also in the age of transparency, which is why I think on a larger scale, like with Trump, all the stuff that's happening with the scandals and everything like that, is we're in an age of truth, meaning
now the truth is going to relate.
If you stand the truth, if you stand in your truth, first off, if you stand in your own authentic self and your own authentic truth, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But if you fake the funk, it's no longer going to be 20 years, 30 years, and it's going to come to light. It's almost like immediate, like either adapt, change, and become a better person, or fuck off. Like, I hate to say it like that, but it's like, you've read a little bit. It's kind of like, it's the whole, like the Hermetic principles talk about duality and shit like that. Like, and though, we're all on a different journey, right? And what I feel like when you describe that moment in time is when people are like asleep and they don't know that they're asleep. And so they're into their traumas, their programming, things like that. And they just perpetuate the negativity instead of like looking at it and transmute it, which is what I feel like you did. Like, you could have balled yourself up in a corner and be like, nobody likes me. And then just stayed in Odessa and did nothing.
Yeah.
But you fucking, dude, I don't know. That's like the ultimate hero's journey, or even like the book, The Greatest Salesman. Like, you have to leave and get away from your family unit to be able to find yourself. And like you said, now you know yourself a little bit more. Like, oh, this is who I am. Like what those guys were describing to you when they first seen, that's who you are, right? And sometimes there's all these type of layers, right? While we can't see it ourselves. But sometimes you have to get outside of that.
Yeah, I had to disappear these past 2 years. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's felt like you've disappeared, but it's also felt like you've been public, like, because you had so much work, and so much of your work is public.
I've never stopped working. That's one thing about me, is I've never taken a break. I've never considered a plan B or anything. Like I've always just been like, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna stick with this, because it's like, I think we talked about it last podcast. Like, I have like an addictive personality. I wouldn't even label it like that, but it's like, whenever I find something that I like and I'm good at it, I take it as far as I possibly can. And like, I don't have this option or that option. It's like, whatever I'm doing right now, I'm gonna take it as far as I can.
Well, and I'm with you with the local media in a sense, like in this space, right? SmokesWorld, Moneyland Media, covering you, because it's not, and I think people maybe mistake this, it's not, are you a music artist and you're going to make it out? Are you an artist in general? Are you going to make it out? And if we look at the landscape, there's no comparison. There's only been like one person, maybe two, who's made it out. That's you and maybe one other person. And they don't want to give you any type of, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah, it's fine. It's fine, because at the end of the day, you do need your haters. You do need to drive you, for sure. Yeah, that, and it's like God says, I'll prepare a table for you in front of your enemies. So it's like, you need the enemies for that table to be prepared.
No, definitely.
And you can't win going against the dude that's winning. So that's all I gotta say.
Good luck. Yeah, for sure.
Can't.
That, and if you have the hand of God over you,
I do. I got God's touch on me.
You know what I'm saying?
Without a doubt.
No, definitely, man.
Without a doubt.
We talked about that briefly last time, and we're also in an age of like sifting, where that's becoming more aware.
I mean, sifting.
So sifting is like back in the day, or even now, they have like these.
She cooking eggs?
No. They have what do you call it? It's like a box, and it's got a screen. It's kind of like a when you smoke weed and you put. No. So and then you shake it. No. And you shake it, sifting. Like, you sift the dirt and you sift. When I went to California, we would load the tubes for THC oil. We have to put all the weed.
We get it. You read the dictionary.
In this box, and it would sift out all the dirt and everything to the bottom.
All right.
So the Bible talks about in the end of the days, the sifting of the shaft and the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Bible a little bit, where it talks about there's this parable where it says, the farmer planted his seed, and then his workers came to him and said, "Master, in the evening, your neighbor, your enemy, planted weeds into your field. What do you want us to do?" And this was a depiction of Christianity, in a sense, or whatever, in the end of days. And the farmer said, "Just let it grow up. Let them grow together. And in the end, because if we pull them out too early, we may pull out the wheat along with the weed. But if we let them grow up together, we can distinguish them. We'll know exactly what the weed is and what the weed is, and we'll take out the weed." So there's a sifting. So in the end of days, it said there'll be a sifting of the righteous and the unrighteous.
Yeah.
And there's this a bit of a, anyway, I'm a little too much.
That's exactly what it feels like.
But you have to stand. This is the moment where, like, people, and I'll say it again, like with Trump and stuff like that, where you have to stand on who you are, what you are, how you're going to show up, or you're going to get pushed over. Like, there's no faking the funk no more.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So besides the Kabbalion, let's get into a different subject. Let's shift it. What else have you read?
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, man, we got like, it's going by fast, bro.
How much time we got?
Sheesh.
I was saying we need more than an hour. I could talk for that.
I know a lot. Hey, man.
I got so much.
No, you're good. Dude, we haven't even talked about, like, okay, you were working with, like, what's the best moment you've had where, like, oh, shit.
Probably.
Like, I don't know what.
DBaby had a show in Houston at the House of Blues.
Okay.
And
damn.
Yeah, so when I was working that show, I went outside to get the line. And, bro, this line,
No way,
like,
bro.
all the way. It's like, okay, so at the House of Blues, they have like 3 levels of, like, you got to kind of go up to it, right? And it went from, like, the inside and, like, wrapped around from there, back to there, to back to there. And it's like the circle. I don't know what it's called, like a circle thing. But, bro, this line went, like, bro,
Yeah.
It was just crazy. And so seeing that, and it's like thinking, like, it's crazy, like, I'm a part of this and, like, I'm accepted here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here, I feel like I wasn't accepted. Like, I feel like here, because, like, people here had a lot of, like, secret animosity, jealousy, envy towards me, and I didn't know that. So it's like, I was tolerated here. People just would tolerate me because of because of the camera. You know what I mean? So people just, put on the front. Yeah. And it's like, over here, it's like, man, I'm actually a part of something major, and they accept me here, and they love me here.
Yeah, and
they appreciate me.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
And it's like seeing that, and then, like, that big of a show, it was just, that's probably one of the coolest things. But that's just the first thing that come to mind. I know there's a lot more.
No, I'm sure there's way more, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot.
we can go down the list of artists, but it's like, in Texas, for one, let's just say that, they're incredibly prominent.
Yeah,
and
Texas is its own shit. It could be its own country,
baby. They're established names, things like that. Is there still, has the, what do you call it? What do they call it? Like the shock factor, the celebrity factor. Was it ever there? Did it go away? Like, were you, I mean, because you're still young, man. I don't know how old DBaby and them are, but how old are they? Are they your age? No, they're older, right?
He's a little bit older.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is, but I know he's not in his 30s yet. I don't think.
But, let's take things in context. You're from small town, Odessa, Texas, and now you're, transplanted in fucking 5 million, 7 million, population Houston with some of the biggest artists in Texas. Like, how do you adjust? Is your eating habits different? Your sleeping habits different?
I barely get, sleeping. Oh my God, sleeping is hell, fool. Rapper time is hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Rapper time is not
going to sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's not healthy. We be coming out the studio and the sun be coming up. It's not healthy at all. So it's like, that's another thing.
Oh, wow.
For me, at least, is I'm still like, I'm doing good now, but I'm still working on staying balanced where I'm taking care of my health, because health is wealth. No matter what, health, like, especially for me, because my biggest asset is my mind. It's always gonna be my mind. So if I'm not taking care of my mind, if it's like, when I was going through like them health issues and all that, like I've seen where if I'm not taking care of myself, my mind's not good, then shit's out of whack. So it's
you're
like,
not optimal.
Yeah. So I be getting my sleep now whenever I can. Like I woke up like 2 hours ago. I be getting my sleep when I can, because I was just in Dallas the past 2 days. I was in Houston before that. And like all the traveling I got, it's like.
Yeah, you were driving this morning, right? Or yesterday morning, right? This morning? Oh, this morning. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. And then, so it's like I gotta. make sure my health is good. You know what I mean? Because I've already learned the hard way. If you don't take care of yourself, it's easy. It's easy because it's like the life is so fast.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose yourself. It's easy.
Gotcha.
And that happened to me when I first started going out to Houston. That's why I was fucking up so much here, was because I'm not used to this fast life. You know what I mean? And I was having a bunch of health issues and I was fucking up. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And what we do, creating, it all comes from the mind. So you got to make sure your mind is good, because it's a different energy. There's a big difference between physical energy and mental energy.
Fuck yeah, man.
And I could swing a hammer and an axe all day and be good, but mental energy, that's different. Like, that's something where you really gotta like take care of yourself. So that's something that I'm balancing out now.
There is a limited bandwidth. Me and one of my other mentors talks about it all the time. Like, it is like a CPU or a computer. Like, most people don't have, in a sense, like a terabyte up here processing, right? They got a few gigs and get overwhelmed or whatever. But if you're going to be optimal, I went to Austin a week and a half ago, man, to do breath work with this guy, because there's this one thing that I kept getting triggered over, and I had like a mental breakdown, like the first time in my life. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was like 2 weeks ago. And for whatever reason, it was triggering something, and I couldn't understand it. And I had to go, like, I can't operate like this. Like, I can't live the rest of my life like this. How do I go optimize whatever the fuck this is? And this dude helped me through it, but now I understand it. But it's like, there's only so much that we can process at a time.
Yeah.
If we're rested, well fed,
exactly.
Emotionally, spiritually, adept, if not, then, bro.
Drinking your water too.
Dude, water, sleep, like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only drinking this right now because I'm going through some shit.
Thank
but
you. Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you, because I asked for it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, now I was gonna bring some anyway, but
no.
I stopped drinking a long time ago, but I'm going through some shit right now, so that's why I'm drinking.
Okay, I got you, man.
Yeah, but
well, shit, man. Now I feel bad. Did I make you drink?
No, this is me. This is all me.
Okay, I got you. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
But but yeah, other than that, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? But you're right. Like, you're gonna reach those plateaus, and I think that's why that's the good thing, the blessing of like all the shit that I got to go through is like that threshold gets bigger and bigger the more shit you go through.
Exactly.
Your body and your mind adapts to it. It's like you said, like, it's not always a terabyte, but you go through some shit, you level up, like you handle that. It's like you know how like you get nerves at first, you get nervous. It's like now your mental capacity is at 1 terabyte, and then once you get through it, get experience and get comfortable with it, now you're at 2 terabytes. And it's like you just gotta go through a bunch of shit to keep leveling up like that.
Definitely. Well, and if you want to solve, I mean, they say you get paid in proportion to the problems that you solve,
Oh yeah.
And I want to solve big problems. I don't want to solve small problems, And I don't want small problems to irritate me and trigger me, like it was like I don't know what the fuck this other thing was, but it was something small. I'm like, this should not be triggered. Like, I was aware enough, and I'm aware enough after doing shrooms and shit like that to know, like, why is this triggering me? Most people don't get to even that point. They just follow the program and run down that path, But you know that a little bit about reading the Hermetic Principles and the Kabbalah, stuff like that. Okay, real quick, what other books are you reading?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I need to get back into reading.
You need to get back into it? Okay.
Like, when I started going out to Houston, bro, it's like I lost my whole foundation of like reading books. It took me a while to like find a gym and start going to the gym out there.
You're just all work.
I got a badass gym over there now.
Okay.
But I lost that whole foundation of like reading books, eating healthy, going to the gym. Like, I lost all of that.
Damn. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of like lost myself because how fast it was.
I got you.
But so I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't read no. I mean, I've read a couple. I know one of them was Ego's Enemy, and that's the truth. Like, I think I forgot who it was by, but Ego's Enemy, it teaches you a lot about self-awareness. Because it's like, ego is like a coping mechanism for most people.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, if you have this ego, like your ego, it's like, if it's not balanced, it's there to protect you. So it's like, it's like, I have this ego, so I'm okay in this area. I'm not wrong in this area. But whenever you kind of just turn your ego off, it's like, okay, I was wrong in this area. I could have been better in this area. And that was one thing that book taught me, and it brought me a lot of self-awareness. Because it's like, I've noticed, because one thing I'm not an egotistical person. I'm actually like, I do my best to stay humble. And one of the things that God blessed me with, bro, was in the past 2 years when I was kind of just going up, like working with all these major artists, I was also going through I got to go through a lot of shit. So God was really like humbling me.
Like growing up too.
Yeah. So God was like humbling me throughout the whole thing. So
shit.
yeah. So it was a perfect balance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, God is great. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not even gonna sit here. I'm not a perfect person now. I'm still got a lot to work on. I still sin just like everybody else. And back then, I did have a little bit of ego. And okay, so like 2 years ago, bro, like 2.5 years ago, I would say December 23rd, 2022. Shit really hit the fan. It was weird, bro. I gotta say this story. This is why I'm here. In 2022, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt God calling me the whole year. The whole year I felt him calling me. I felt it in my spirit. And before that, I was never the godly type or whatever. People would try to come to me preaching, and I'd be like, bro, I don't want to hear it. Like, God don't care about me. I don't care about God. God hates me. I don't give a fuck about all that. Like, I don't want to hear it. Keep it moving. I was that type of person. And then so 2022, I felt God calling me, and I kept running from it. And I could hear what he was telling me to do, and I wasn't listening. I was being stubborn. I was being arrogant. I was full of ego, and I was running from it. And then shit really hit the fan December 23rd, 2022, and I had no choice but to turn to God. And it's weird how that works, bro. And there's a verse in the Bible that says, I chose you, you didn't choose me. And that's exactly what happened. And God really showed me what my purpose was. He told me what my purpose was in that moment. And that's been that's why I had to disappear these past 2 years. Like these past 2 years have been like obviously I've been, whoop de whoop, whatever, but these past 2 years I've gone through, like, I've had to disappear. You know what I mean? I had to go through like a real isolation phase and really like sit with myself. And that was another thing with house arrest, bro. Like with house arrest, you can't drink, you can't do no drugs, you can't go out nowhere.
Literally sitting with
you can't
yourself.
Go to the gym. I had to sit with myself, bro, for 10 months and face everything. I had to face everything, bro. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I got to go through hell through all that. Yeah. And it taught me a lot. I matured a lot through it. And it's like when you're isolated, it's only your voice and God's voice. You know what I mean? And I lost all my friends, like everything. And I got to go through a lot of shit these past 2 years, and I couldn't be more grateful. At the time, it was hell. I didn't understand it. It sucked. But now looking back, it was all God, and I'm grateful for it. But
well, you're definitely carrying whatever the hell you went through, well, and you're continuing. Like, that's the hard part, right? Is keep going.
It's not hard.
I don't know what you've gone through.
I've gone through a lot of shit. I got to go through a lot of shit, but I'm grateful for it. Because you can't, like you say, always tell all the time, you can't have one without the other. You know what I mean? So you can't understand love to a strong degree until you've hated to a certain degree. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't have one without the other. You can't know what happiness is, like extreme level of happiness is, until you've experienced an extreme level of sadness and like this.
Well, and it's similar to like out here, what we talked about briefly is like, it's the whole, a prophet's not accepted in his own city. Of course they fucking.
Oh, I'm so glad you
know what I'm saying? Like,
crazy. That's so crazy you said that. That's in Mark.
Bro,
and that's another thing. It's like, that's why I don't like being here. And like, I know people don't like it.
Well, I was telling some artists the other day, of course they don't believe in you. Like, and a sister, like if there's your siblings, you fucking shitted in the same restroom as them, and they know that you got dirty, whatever the fuck it is. Like,
chill out, bro.
Of course
that's a personal.
Like, and it's similar to like you or me or whoever. It's like, of course, like even with Christ, isn't he a farmer's son? That's why the parable is so powerful. It's like,
and then he's like,
isn't he a nobody?
He's a carpenter. So it's like, so that's in that verse it says he couldn't perform that many miracles in Nazareth because
they didn't believe.
His people had little faith in him because they still seen him as a humble carpenter that they grew up with. And so it says Jesus was amazed by their lack of faith, and he couldn't perform that many miracles in there because of their lack of faith, because of the way they saw him. So it's like, that's why, I mean, it's a love-hate relationship coming back over here, but it's like, even just being around like my family and all them, is like, they just see me as like, and then people here, they see me as, that nerd or that loser from like elementary, junior high, high school. And then they see me as that person. And so it's like, nobody has that type of faith, or they don't see me as who I am. You know, and it's crazy, bro, because now that I'm here in Houston, people treat me way
wild,
different.
right?
Like
That's
my
great.
barber in Houston, shout out to Eddie. He wanted me to give him a shout out. Shout out to Eddie, the barber from Houston. Like I remember he was telling me one time, he was like, bro, like it's kind of, it's crazy for me to cut your hair because like, you know, you be with DBaby and all that. Like it's a trip for me. And it's like my barber here are hoes, bro. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all are hoes. I be hearing the shit that they be talking about me. They know who they are.
Damn it.
Y'all are some hoes, bro. I be hearing the shit saying about me. And so it's like, it's night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And it's like,
well, it's like the ultimate imagery of the hero's journey. Like you got to go out,
yeah,
experience the hate, the rejection, the pushback, all of that,
yeah,
to feel the pressure to become who you need to become. And then it's like, and then you come back and you get to tell
I thought of a cool analogy about that too. I told my brother this last time I talked to him, and I told my dad about this. The movie 300.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Leonidas has to go out there to the wilderness.
Meet the wolves, man.
Meet the wolves. I want the fucking Wolfpack.
Yeah, exactly.
I was with some wolves, bro. I ain't gonna lie. There's some wolves. There's wolves. Like,
yeah.
That's as wilderness as it gets, bro. The north side of Houston.
Concrete jungle, yeah.
That's it. No, not even concrete. Not the north side of Houston.
Real jungle.
It's a real jungle out there. I ain't gonna lie. That's the real jungle out there. And so it's like, that was 2 years ago. So it's like, now I'm coming back. I'm not the same person that everybody used to know. I'm not.
Yeah, try me.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not finna let nobody. I'm not. This sounds like disrespectful. This sounds egotistical, but this is the truth. I'm not the same person I used to be, and I'm not finna let nobody talk to me the way you used to talk to me.
Right.
You're not going to. You know what I mean? Nobody's finna treat me like I'm not me, and nobody's finna talk to me like I'm not me. I didn't get to go through all this shit that I've gone through the past 3 years, but people just, you know what I mean, saying what they want, whoop, saying this. I didn't get to go through all that. And I didn't get to fail as much as I did and keep going to get where I'm at for people to talk to me like I'm not me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For people to treat me like I'm
man.
not me. So I'm just letting everybody know all that shit is dead.
No, man, I'm glad you came and, sat down and shared a little bit. I feel like we could go for hours, man. Like you got stories for days, you know what I'm saying? We might just have to do a part 2, but like sooner rather than later.
That's why I didn't want nobody here.
Because there's so much, man. I mean, yeah, there's so much more to address. There's so much more to talk about. Even just discuss, like in the sense of what's happening in the 432, the Permian. Because you're similar to what I told Platt in 2020 is...
Yeah, shout out to Platt.
Yeah, shout out to Platt. Is you're the only... You and Platt and maybe one other person are, I would say, shortening the process by being able to go out there and then come back, in a sense, and bring game. Like, we take so long to catch up in the 432, but if you're going and coming and going and coming, you're in a sense spilling a little bit of the game when you come back for us to be able to catch up.
And I'm going to say this, the 432, I mean, the reason why it's taking so long, the 432 can't have anything nice. They got to shit on everything that they get.
It's like
anything that
come over.
Anything nice that they get. Like, I ain't even been to, what's that new club called?
Which one?
But, you know, the new club? La Santa, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I already see how they was trashing that place.
See that?
Can't have nothing. They put the $1 million fucking badass club for y'all folks, and y'all trash the shit, bro. Y'all can't have nothing nice.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody's fault but y'all's. Y'all need to just get y'all shit together and appreciate what y'all have, and then maybe y'all can get some more nice shit.
Well, and we spend a lot of money here.
Yeah.
So it's
like, why? Look what they got going on.
It can happen here if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
If people,
there's so much money circulating around here.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, like especially like with all the oil food people, I'm happy for that.
There's a lot going on, man. There's other conversations. I think Ryan, shout out to Ryan real quick.
Shout out
40 Wolves, shout out to Second Story Co-working, the podcast department. Ryan's having a lot of conversations probably with a lot of people and producing a lot of podcasts where Midland's going to change over the next 10 and 15 years. And it's going to be exciting, man. There's some stuff that's been like, even with the bonds that are being approved.
With the what?
The bonds, like whether it's the 2 new schools, whether it's the new athletic, building, whether it's the zoo. I mean, I don't know how much is going on over the next 10 years, man.
We're getting a zoo?
Bro, it's going to be fucking insane.
Oh, that's crazy.
Man, it's going to be different. And I don't know. I think maybe I'm hopeful because I haven't really experienced like what people talk about in the 80s, but I think it's sustainable, hopefully. And for artists like you and creators like you, like, I think it's something that you may not have to move away to be able to get the notoriety and the validation. Two, but the third thing, the most important, is to be able to maintain your lifestyle. Like, this is how you live your life. This is how you make a living. I don't know if you thought that was going to be possible in 2020, but
I didn't think a lot of shit's going to be possible.
This is crazy, man. Like, good for you, man. I couldn't imagine, again, what's happened between the 2 years and everything you had to endure or go through.
Yeah.
And again, I just want to give you a shot real quick to tell your side. But is the last 2 minutes, is there anything else you want to tell the audience out? A particular audience is out here in the 432. So is there anything else you want to?
Well, let me say that. I know I've talked a lot of shit, but I'm just talking about the music industry when it comes to Odessa, Midland. That's my niche. I can't speak for everybody else. Yeah. Everybody else I see, like with the businesses, with the oil field, they are doing great, and I'm happy for them. I love that. Yeah, they doing amazing. I love seeing all that. So I'm not speaking for everybody on Odessa, Midland. I'm just speaking for the music industry. Yep. Y'all got to get y'all shit together and stop hating, because hate don't get you nowhere.
Very good distinguishing. I'm glad you did that. Yeah, exactly.
I wanted people to think like he's talking about me, and I'm not. I'm just talking about specifically one genre, and that's the music industry. Yeah. And that's it. Everybody else, I love y'all. Everybody else is nothing but love. Everybody else is doing good for a reason.
And you come back.
So I'm happy for them.
And you shoot videos here too, right? Last one was Ferrari. We didn't even get to talk. Damn, yes.
I ain't gonna lie. That video came out dope. See, that's what I'm saying. Ferrari is another dude, bro. Like when I was with him, I ain't gonna lie. Him and his people, bro, they made me feel good, because it's like
sweet, man.
They had another.
We had a little deal last year. That shit was funny as fuck. But anyway, let's talk. We went back and forth.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, it's kind of like, I look.
I love Ferrari. Ferrari's good people, man. He always show love too, and that's what I appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, I could easily get on here and let me ask you this: have you ever seen me get online and beat my chest and talk shit?
No, hell no.
I'm not that type of person. So it's like all that whole he thinks he's better than everybody. He thinks
I've never seen that.
That shit is just that's not true, bro. Nobody's ever
now.
Seen
I can see the misunderstanding.
But
based on like the messages you sent me, now I can see how but the fact that they can't get past their own insecurities.
You know what I want?
No, I get it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. But
well, we know too. You're a Leo. You're gonna come across as an asshole all the time, anyway.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying though. When you get to know me, like, because here's another thing, bro. It's like I've heard so many people like talk about. So I remember one time my cousin, he was at this barbershop and like tattoo shop in Midland or whatever, and he was telling me these people had all this shit to say about me.
Damn.
And I was like, what are their names? He told me their names. I'm like, I've never heard these people in my life. I'm like, what do they look like? He showed me their Instagram, and I'm like, bro, I've never seen these people in my life before.
Damn.
I've never heard these people. How do they know so much about me? Why are they talking so much shit? So it's like people need to normalize. If you ain't been around somebody, hung around somebody, spent time with somebody, had a conversation with somebody, shut the fuck up. Your opinion does not fucking matter, bro. Like, shut up, for real. I can't stand, like, I was on the phone with this record label the other day, and they was like, what's your opinion on this dude? And I'm like, well, to be honest, sir, I've never been around this person. I've never hung around this person, so I can't have an opinion about this person. I've heard this and that, but you're asking me for my opinion, I can't have an opinion because I ain't never had a conversation with this man, whatever. So it's really arrogant for me to act like I know this person.
Yeah, you can't recruit me to hate somebody that you hate.
Yeah, so it's like, we need to normalize, if you're not educated on a topic or a person.
I'm like, oh, okay.
From experience.
That's it.
Shut up, please.
Definitely. We need more of that.
Yep.
What else, man? This is the end of it.
All right. Last message.
Thank you so much for hopping on. This is
Jesus Christ loves y'all.
Back to the block.
Back to the block. I love y'all.
Mikey Mike.
I'm out.
Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you. Dude, that was good, man.
Appreciate y'all.
I think this is going to go. Dude, we're going to go forever, but